Hey guys, hope you're all well. So, today's discussion is going to be about the undergraduate project. Now, the undergraduate project is currently being billed as something very scary, very, very traumatic, very life changing. Well, it is those things and more. So, the undergraduate project, in a nutshell, is your ace of spades. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is it's one of your best opportunities, or it's one of your only opportunities to actually show your employer what you are made of. What do I mean by that? So, let's say you have graduated now and you made a grand spanking undergraduate project, you've answered a problem. Yeah, maybe your project wasn't the best, maybe you weren't able to deliver I don't know, a Netflix or Facebook, but you go to an employer and you're in an interview room. Let's say you're sitting in the interview room now, and your employer says to you, okay, so what makes you different from everybody else? Now your marks are not going to make you different, your grades are not going to make you different. What university you went to is not going to make you different, because imagine there's 5 or 6 people competing against you that have done exactly the same thing. What's going to make you different is your experience, because experience you cannot make up. Now that experience that you had, them long hours trying to solve that problem, doing that undergraduate project, is what will separate you from everybody else. From my experience, what I did was, when I was in my final year of university, I built a mobile app. I had never built a mobile app before. I built a mobile app for my dad's business. Now, I personally built the mobile application using React Native. I had no idea what React Native was. I just found it online when I was researching that it's the best way of joining iOS and Android for mobile applications, and I went ahead and used that. Could I have made a better choice? I don't know. I might have made a better choice. It might have been a better idea using Android separate and Swift separate, but I went for React Native. Now, the beautiful thing about your undergraduate project is, firstly, obviously, it's a very good story to tell your employer. I did mine with React Native. I spent hours and hours on end trying to build a concept, trying to build a project, and at the end, I was able to build a simple project that allows you to book an appointment at the office, and you are able to see the money exchange rates, and you are able to book through the app. Now, in real time, that's not going to help anybody. Not going to solve everyone's problem. But that was enough for an employer to see me as someone credible, to see me as someone that could add value to the organization, which is what they want to see. Now, the second thing about undergraduate project that will sort of boost you and help you out is the research part. Now, I know it sounds boring, I know it sounds tedious, but the research part will actually help you out, because the undergraduate project helps you in a number of reasons. Firstly, it gives you the ability to analyze and evaluate something that you may not have learned anywhere else, because you probably never had the opportunity to. Now, the ability to actually think, the ability to think of a hypothesis, the ability to go through and find proofs for and against, go through and find out how something may disagree with you, something may agree with you, evaluating a problem, evaluating an argument that you. For example, my hypothesis, what was it? My hypothesis was, how has technology affected the travel industry? I went into 3 long discussions. I made a discussion about how people would prefer to go into a shop and speak to somebody, which was obviously disagreeing with me. I found proofs for that. Then I found proofs for why people would prefer to do it online as opposed to going into the store. I also did a discussion about why I'm using React Native, why it's the best, because it joins Android and iOS, because it saves time, it saves organizations time and money, it saves them resources. It's better to hire one developer that knows React Native than 2 developers that one knows Android, one knows iOS. I also had differing views that I had to accept and that I had to take on board, which in the end I came to a conclusion, taking everything into account. Now, that's a very important skill to have in the real world, so that when you go out in the real world, you are able to actually understand when people disagree with you, when people go against you, when people don't agree with you. You're able to think, okay, that also makes sense. This also makes sense. It also gives you the ability to evaluate ideas and think about risk versus reward, think about advantages and disadvantages, and think about, should I do things quickly or should I do things fast? Should I do things quickly or should I do things slowly? It unlocks all these abilities in your mind, which you may not have had experience of, or you may not have had an opportunity to go into unless you were actually doing that, and unless you were actually going through an undergraduate project. Now, another benefit of the undergraduate project is that it allows you to understand how the real world works. So, a project on your own, a project where a lot of things may go wrong. I don't know, you may not get the right time to do it, you may not get the right guidance, someone may not be helping you, but that's how ideas are in the real world. If you're an entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to get ready for a difficult life full of the only thing that helps you while you're an entrepreneur is your effort and consistency. If you do not have consistency, you will not make it as an entrepreneur. You will not make it in life if you want to go and make your own ideas. An idea is nothing. An idea, people think of ideas all the time. What separates you from everybody else is when you're consistently getting an idea, going through with it, and making it happen by going through all the hurdles. And that is what you're taught to do in the undergraduate project. Your supervisor may not always be there for you. He may not always be interested because he has 100 other things to do. Whereas your only job is the undergraduate project. So whether you're spending 20 hours a day on it, whether you're spending, 40 hours a week on it, whether you make it your main target of your main source of time and pleasure during that time, that will all add up and be valuable for you when you're sitting in an interview. It will not regress, it will not make you look bad, the more time you spend on it, the better, put it that way. Because they want to see, is the student worth it? Should I give him a chance? Should I give him an opportunity? What separates him from everybody else? So guys, those are my points on the undergraduate project, and I hope you guys are currently making your hypothesis, getting ready for your undergraduate project. And if you have any help, give me a shout. Thank you for your time.